Well, hello. I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of The Shooting Show, and welcome to today's program. Yes, I'm holding this great Dan Wesson 460, and I tell you what, friends, as we're taping, we're only one day, we're a week ahead on our programming right now. Hopefully we're going to get it closer to the actual broadcast date, but this is Thursday before the Fun Gun Weekend, and I'm sure that those of you that came had a great time. I'm sure that I did too, and a lot of you had a chance to shoot our 460 Dan Wesson, and I know that you're going to have some really great things to say about it because these are such neat guns. Again, we have these guns here available with the program or from the program. We can certainly sell them with one barrel length or with two. With one barrel length, our 460 Dan Wessons for now, and realize these are semi-custom guns. They're only $6.99. These are sort of special prices right now. With two barrel lengths at the present time, it's $7.99. For an extra $100, you can get a second barrel. Of course, it just takes a minute to change, and when you put them on, they won't come off. Really a great system. I'm so pleased about our friend Bob Serva. You know, he watched the program for years, and before he ever bought the Dan Wesson Company, and we used to say on this show, said, you know, I wish when the Dan Wesson group was down or out of production several years back, we wish that someone would come along and take advantage of such a great design. And we're so appreciative of our friend Bob Serva and his group there in Norwich, New York, who is doing that. We have a really interesting program for you today, friends. We have another breakthrough that we're going to be talking about in a few minutes. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to ask you to wait. We really have achieved another breakthrough, and that I think is going to excite a lot of you. You know, right now, in the wake of the school shootings, and realize that in Columbine, Colorado, that high school, that wasn't a shooting per se. It was a terrorist attack. That was a bombing. They had 60-some-odd bombs and just a few firearms. Yet I don't see any movement afoot to put licensing periods on propane bottles. You know, we hadn't heard it, because we understand what this is about, friends. Those boys in Colorado broke around 19 laws already by attacking a school. You know, you can't, the things they did are covered by a number of laws already in place. But you see, folks, the people who would disarm us, the people who would have their socialist America, which they have made some remarkable strides in trying to bring about, they understand the dangers of the civilian population having access to firearms. And that danger is not that we would hurt each other. The danger is not that someone would attack a school. The danger is the general population that had enough of their socialist, communistic policies would revolt. Now that's what it's about. You know, they're not worrying about your skin or mine or our children's skins. Hey, these socialists are worried about their own skins. They're worried about what will happen to them once they achieve their nice police state. Now that's what it's about, friends. That's why they won't take them away. Yeah, the Clintonites, yeah, they're worried. What about themselves? Because you know what? Every time at some point that a socialist regime has taken over, a socialist group has taken over a country, you know what? There's always, without fail, somewhere there's been a revolt. And it's never been pleasant. You know, revolts aren't pleasant things. They never are. Well, see, we don't have to let it come to that here in the United States. It doesn't have to be that way. But we have millions of decent Americans out there that will be able to make the right decisions about their politicians, about guns, about all sorts of things in their lives if they're just presented with the truth. And right now, the onslaught is against truth in broadcasting, against truth in the newspaper. For instance, here's something that we wanted to pass on to you. You know, right now the Clintonians are talking about gun locks, about the advantages on gun locks. Well, and Liddy Dole and President Clinton He and Liddy Dole at a recent speech at Yale University compared gun locks to child-proof safety caps on medicine bottles. Well, listen to this. It is a good comparison because the safety caps increased accidental deaths and gun locks would do the same. Because you know what happened when these safety caps, these child-proof safety caps, were put on bottles of medicine? What happened was, then the parents, whoever would leave the medicine laid around, well, you know, little children are just smaller adults, and they have remarkable mechanisms between their ears that they can unlock puzzles. And many times children can get a safety cap off easier, say, than someone with arthritis in their hands. Heck, safety caps on these medicine bottles for a lot of children's piece of cake. And you think that gun locks, you know, imagine someone breaking into your home and you say, oops, wait a minute, let me go unlock my gun. Have any of you ever seen a tape called Surviving Edge Weapons? A lot of police officers have watched that particular tape. And how long do you think it takes for someone to attack you with a knife? Mere seconds. Mere seconds. If your gun's locked up, they're not very good as clubs. They're not shaped right for a club. Now, friends, something's got to be done. That's why we're here today. That's why we've been on the air all these years with the shooting show. That's why all of us are trying to do what we can for this little network, the beginning. And I have a suggestion. And somebody sent me these signs here the other day. They said we might show this on the program. Let's see if we can come in and look at it. I think that all the liberal socialists, I think if you have some anti-gun people in your neighborhood, I think that you should get one of these little signs that says gun-free household, no guns allowed. And personally, I think it ought to be on all the anti-gun people. I think I'll put it on their mailbox. I mean, maybe put 2 or 3 up in their yard, because you know what's going to happen, friends? If we can get all the anti-gun people to put these signs up on their homes and their business, especially their homes, we'll realize those of us who have guns, the burglary rate is going to go way down for the rest of us, because guess where the nice burglars are going to go? You know, guess where they're going to go? So we would encourage that, and I appreciate one of our viewers sending me these. I think that all the anti-gun people should have at least one of these on their mailbox, and just so they'll let everyone know they don't believe in firearms. And like I said, it would help the rest of us, because the burglars are going to go to where they have the nice gun-free household sign. So that's, I tell you what, friends, isn't that amazing? Well, we have a great show for you today, and I don't want to take too long with our intro, but as we mentioned on last week's program, we now have an uplink that has been made available, or is going to be available for our program. And we're going to need some help on it. If you have some ideas, we're going to, and we'll be talking. If you have any interest in that, we may go for another set of donations just for the uplink, because you know what, friends? Having an uplink will let us broadcast programming much cheaper. We can take advantage of a lot of situations that we can't now, because we have to make our tapes, we have to send them to an uplink, and then they have to beam them up to a satellite. This will be a huge advancement toward us getting a gun-friendly network that is on every day. With our program, with a lot of other programs out there, it will get our costs down. So this is really exciting. And also, of course, this past weekend at the Fun Gun Weekend, actually, let me show you. This is our first rule book right here for our Gun Owner Rights Association Action Shooting, GRAAS. And we've made a couple little changes since we showed on the program. We took the bottom portion here of the A zone, and that's called the B zone on the IPSC type target. And the B zones with the major calibers, it scores 10. With the medium, it scores 8. And with the minor, it scores 6 in the B zone. So anyway, we'll probably be going over that when we first show footage on our GRA action shooting matches that we did at the Fun Gun Weekend, and these will be available. Now, what we didn't put in, like I said, this is rudimentary here, our rule book, very, very rudimentary rule book. We're to shoot in the matches, we require a 30 caliber or larger centerfire gun to compete. And we may do something different for the 22 calibers, things like that, because a lot of people have asked about that. Certainly with younger people getting started, the 22 is a good idea. It's also, it may be a separate discipline altogether, the 22 version of our GRA action shooting. So this is exciting, and yes, yet we can send you a rule book. And we will put on there 30 caliber and above. So, friends, we're here again, and nobody knows what we go through to bring these programs to you. So we ask that if you can join our Gun on the Rights Association, or if you can donate to the program, please do. Please do, because by your donations are how we're here today. And friends, this battle for our freedom and for our country is going to be won or lost right here on the tube. That's where it's going to be won or lost. Right now we're losing. If you want to help us stay on the air, if you want to see the shooting show continue, please donate whatever you can. Join our GRA, and yes, we periodically send out newsletters. We have one going out soon, I anticipate. But the bulk of your money that comes to the GRA goes toward keeping us on the air, and it has certainly been helpful. You know, I promise you that according to our best figures, we reach hundreds of thousands of households. Potentially, we reach millions of households. Just in one particular market that we're on, we reach around 300,000 households. When our program is put against anything else on local cable or whatever else, it does extremely well, because people are curious and hungry for knowledge about shooting, about guns, about the truth. And you know, most people, unfortunately, who are conservative, choose not to support our effort, or much else of anything for that matter. You know, I know that we have 1,000 people out there, somewhere out there, that could contribute $10 a month, because that would be a huge help. Very few people contribute anything at all, friends. Very, very few. We hear from how many calls? I mean, our phone rings all the time. People watch, people pay attention, people watch on the internet now. That gives us millions more households, and we really appreciate our friend that does our internet, the internet website there. But you know, surely we got 1,000 people out there that would contribute $10 a month. Now think about it. $10, $2.50 a week. That's not even a soft drink a day. There've got to be 1,000 people that care enough to send $10 a month. There must be. There must be. I hope there is, because we need it. Friends, if you want to help us stay on there, we are The Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. Our phone number, if you can help sponsor our program. And yes, I get tired of asking for money, but you know what? I get more tired of seeing our financial statement on the weeks where we don't have enough to get on, and somehow we just ease on by the skin of our teeth. A number of times we shouldn't have been on at all, and things happen, we just were. But see, I'm not going to give up. A lot of you out there are not going to give up either. I'm not going to quit. Whether we stay on the air or not, I'm not going to quit. Now with the uplink situation that is coming, at least it's going to be available to us. We can pay for it. It's going to be available. It'll help. What's our country worth? What's our freedom worth? What's truth in broadcasting worth? You know, how much is your freedom worth? Someone told me today about a buyback program of SKS rifles in California somewhere, you know, some ridiculous thing. And my thought was that, you know, if those individuals out there if they don't see a need for their guns and they want to sell them back, works for me. Hey, if they want to sell them back to the government, whoever, hey, works for me. Because if they don't understand, those folks who don't understand why we have them, if they don't understand it anyway, we're just well off. If they don't have any, it doesn't matter. But there are a lot of us out here who do understand. You want to help us? want to help us stay on the air, please help us promote our cartridge. The cartridge is off to a good start. No, we're not selling enough to keep us on the air yet. Hopefully a few months down the road we will. We're starting to get a little more press publicity on our cartridge and on our guns. Please help us if you will, friends. We do have a great show for you today, and we have a real breakthrough we've achieved. And if we have time, we may go back in time. We ran across some old tapes of the program from the first years we were on, and maybe we'll have a chance to do a feature there. We've had some requests for our friend Art Alpin, or some of his original tape pieces. I don't know if we'll have time today for that or not, but we're going to take our best shots. Let's get another shooting show underway.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, here it is. This is the great Georgia Arms 45 DA Colt or double action Colt cartridge. This is the first major improvement on the Colt 45 since 1873. They have this in loaded cowboy ammunition. They're also selling brass, so you can load your own combinations. This cartridge case is absolutely a joy to work with. We're even seeing improved accuracy, we think due to the slightly larger rim on our 45 DA Colt case. You can get a free catalog, or you can order these from Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861 for their entire lineup, and please tell them you saw it here on our show. Now friends, of course, the cowboy load is mild but super accurate. And of course, you can take your hand loads up to the limit of what the loading manuals will allow. The great 45 double action Colt cartridge from Georgia Arms. Give them a call today, friends. A free phone call with a free catalog. And friends, we want to remind you that Georgia Arms has the best lineup of rifle and handgun ammunition available in the United States at the very best prices. They are shipping 460 Rowland ammunition daily. We really appreciate their efforts to work with us. In fact, the 460 Rowland kit for the 1911 is now going to be available through the Georgia Arms catalog. So certainly you can look in there, and in the new catalog coming out, you'll see our 460 kit for the 1911 right there in the Georgia Arms catalog. So you can order the kit and ammo at the same time. But certainly, please remember to tell them you saw this here on our program, because they've certainly been great supporters of this project. You know, friends, we have showed you the power of our 460 Rowland cartridge in this great Kimber pistol many times. You know, we've done all kinds of demonstrations showing for its size, for what it is, this is the most powerful pistol in the world. For its size, its weight, for what it is, it just has a phenomenal capability on what these guns will do. Observe our water bottle. You know, they're fun to shoot, and it's warm out here today. In fact, before we do that, I'll tell you, when you're out on the range, of course, sometimes, actually, if I were down here in the sun, it would actually be cooler if I had a long sleeve shirt on and I let the shirt get wet with perspiration, actually. But a good hat, if you're going to be outside this summer, small thing to say. You know, we always talk about eye protection, about hearing protection. I have these tremendous gel earplugs, and when you got these things in, you can't hear it thunder. Trust me on this one. These are made by North Industries, actually. So if I look like I'm shooting without ear protection down here, don't think I am, because I'm not. My goodness, your hearing is just too important to give up. My goodness, there's no need in that. That's another thing about our 460s. You know, I did have to I shot a great big cottonmouth water moccasin here the other day, about 5 feet plus, the biggest one I have personally ever come in contact with. And of course, I didn't have time to put on my hearing protection. I just had to shoot the snake quickly. And you know, I'm like Indiana Jones, I hate snakes. And anyway, the good news about our 460, you don't have the piercing noise level. It's not like a 357. I tell you what, you shoot a 357 without hearing protection or one of the other magnums, it's really going to makes my ears ring. And you know, when your ears ring, you've got a little damage. But our 460 with the bigger bore size, even though it's got a pretty good blast, it's not piercing like some of the other powerful handguns. Heck, a 9mm hurts my ear. Any of them do. 22, for that matter, is not good for you to shoot without hearing protection. But the good news is our 460 does not have that piercing sound. You don't have the muzzle blast. You don't have the pain if you had to shoot the gun, which I think is very important, because you can concentrate more on your shooting than knowing that it's not going to just be like an ice pick through your eardrum. So that's something, you know, we're learning more and more as we go along, but that is certainly, it is the least noisy, powerful cartridge that I'm aware of. I don't think there's anything even comes close to it as far as power and noise level. The noise is much lower than we would expect. Anyway, I was going to tell you, if you're out here in the sun, a lot of people don't wear hats now. And the little caps we have, the little caps, which are fine, keeps the sun out of your eyes. But you know, if you're out here on a hot day, a simple thing, in fact, I got this on sale the other day. I had to get me a new hat. I was bush hogging down here on the range, and my hat flew off and it went under the bush hog, and trust me, it wasn't usable when it came out. But anyway, this is a simple thing. A good hat will keep your head temperature, and you know, that's what gets hot. People get sunstrokes and all. They get their brain gets overheated, and a good hat amazingly will help you more than you realize. Now, if we're going to be out here for a few minutes, that's one thing, but if you're out for any length of time, you know, something so simple just like eye protection, hey, get you some head protection too, for that matter. Anyway, it is definitely summertime here today in Louisiana, even though we haven't reached June 21 yet, or 22nd, but it's summer. It has certainly felt like it. One more time, our demonstration with our 460 on our volunteer water bottle. Well, and typical, I mean, that's what these things do. I mean, just remarkable power. But you know, right now there are a lot of people have asked me, says, Johnny, what in the world could you do as far as a compact model? And I've told a lot of people on the phone the past few months, say, well, really, the 1911 is very compact, especially for its power level, and said, we just don't know if we can get it in a smaller package. Well, wouldn't it be nice, with so many of you having concealed carry licenses and carrying little guns like this SP-101 357 that's fairly kamikaze with a lot of recoil. And certainly a 357 Magnum is powerful, but they're not so much fun to shoot because you've got a lot of recoil in a small gun. What if we took a gun like this compact Kimber, and yeah, I'm smiling because I'm just tickled. I tell you, I am proud of this. And you have a great character like Jim Clark to help you out on it. And you had a little bitty gun like this compact Kimber, maybe a Colt Commander, or especially this compact Kimber, maybe even an officer's model Colt. And what if you were able to chamber it for 460, the 460 Rowland? Let's see what that might look like. Again, let's see what it might look like if we could get a little gun smaller than my hand chambered in 460. Yep, it works. We have actually done it. Let's take a closer look. Now friends, this is my old Kimber that you'll recognize. This is the gun, our original 460, that has literally thousands and thousands of rounds through it and is doing just great. Well, look at this. How about baby brother here? You see here, this is the compact Kimber. Notice this Clark Custom Guns compensator on the barrel. But see, it's quite a bit smaller than the full-size gun. In fact, it's about the same size as the 5-shot SP-101 Ruger. Now look at this. See, we're talking about the same size and much narrower than the this Ruger's a terrific gun, 357. But my goodness, friends, again, we didn't know if it was possible. And of course, this is our shooting show compact model with the adjustable sights, which is really going to allow some great accuracy. You can adjust for the different loads, of course, but realize we'll be able to sell these guns with the fixed sights as well. Talk about your ultimate compact gun. And yes, we think, and hopefully by the end of this week, we will have a working officer's model. There's several reasons for this. One, the compensator is even more effective on the shorter barrel than it is, it's already super effective on the 5-inch barrel, and it's every bit or more effective on the shorter barrels. And of course, this great Kimber construction, but wait, if you've already got a Kimber compact, and the kit for this gun is going to be less expensive than the kit for the full-size gun. We can send you this if you've already got a compact Kimber. And like I said, we're working, we should have a kit which will be probably the same price as a full size for the Commander type guns. And we're still in progress on the officer's model. Looks really good, but the kits can be less expensive for this compact Kimber than it is for the full size 1911 because we're using all the stock parts except for the specially designed barrel with the compensator. So I think it's pretty amazing if you ask me. I mean, look, we've got one in the magazine here. Go ahead. Notice that my hand will just about cover this gun. I mean, we're talking a small handgun. And I tell you what, friends, the velocity, we've got so much velocity in the 460 anyway, heck, let's just shoot it. Get my hearing protection in good, yes. All right, let's take aim on our disc out there and watch this. We worked over our disc pretty well. I tell you what, friends, this is, I think we can unequivocally say, this is probably the most powerful small gun that's ever been. One that's certainly very shootable.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
And we want to mention the good folks at Clark Custom Guns in Princeton, Louisiana, one of the most complete gun shops in the entire United States. They do all sorts of things like this specialty meltdown on this new STI gun. Also, they have an excellent staff of people to help you with guns such as these Benelli Super Black Eagles, taking 3.5-inch magnums, a complete line of handguns, semi-automatics, revolvers, all sorts of neat things in the shop there. And of course, here's Mr. Jim Clark himself out helping a customer, some of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. They have a complete line of loading supplies, loading tools, gunpowder, you name it, primers, all sorts of accessories for your guns, whatever you might need, certainly within reason. Here's Kay Clark Michelik when she's not winning championships, back working there in the office. And here's her husband, Jerry Michelik, the fastest revolver shooter in the world, when he's not winning championships at work. Here's Jim Clark Jr. back on the lathe, the same drill, when he's not winning championships, working right there in the shop. That's why you can get such complete quality of product and expertise here at Clark Custom Guns. Friends, give them a call today, area 318-949-9884. They have a great catalog. We appreciate them supporting our project. Now, friends, you know, if you're going to carry a gun for self-defense, and a lot of us are, especially now, and it's a proven fact that every time that citizens are allowed to carry handguns concealed, crime always goes down. And the problem that most of us are faced with on the small guns is a compromise between power and accuracy and ease of shootability. And I think this is very important. I've said many times in the past, among the small revolvers, the Little Ruger SP101 is one of the very best. A couple of other companies also make very fine little guns, but the SP101 in .357 Magnum is really a potent little gun. Let's watch it in action. Little muzzle flash. Getting late enough now, you'll probably see a little muzzle flash. You know, like so. It's pretty severe. Good gun, pretty severe recoil, muzzle blast. My goodness. Okay, this out of this 3-inch barrel. The .357 Magnum 125 grain bullet is running about 1,200 or so feet per second. With maximum hand loads, you may bump 1,300 somewhere there for muzzle energy of 470, 450, somewhere there. Well, this is one of those places where our defense load for our 460 and the small gun really shines. See, even out of the small gun, our defense load, now we're talking our very controllable load, is still running a 185 grain bullet over 1,300 feet per second, the defense load, in the little gun. It runs actually what Georgia Arms is now shipping, the defense load with 185 grain bullets running about 1,400 in the automatics, about 1,350 in the revolver. So still, even in the little gun, we're talking 700 foot-pounds of energy. So we're talking over a 50%, with the light load, over a 50% increase in power over the .357 Magnum. Let's watch it in my hand with the defense load. Watch this, and I'm not sandbagging. Watch. So you didn't see a lot of upchuck. Again, tremendous power potential. See it again. See, friends, the recoil is just nothing like we would expect it to be. What we have here, again, even in the short gun, in the full-size gun, it'll overpower a 4-inch 44 Magnum. What we've done in the short gun, the little guns, we're equaling a 41 Magnum. My goodness, you got the big bore, you got the 45 caliber bore. This is exciting because, you know, this little gun can easily be tucked in a purse, and certainly we're looking for really good performance on the officer's model. We can sell you this Kimber if you want one of our conversions, or we can sell you the kit. And remember, on these kits, to convert your Kimber Compact into our 460, there's no paperwork involved. See, I think that if you've already got the gun, you know, you must be trustworthy if you're an American citizen I think there's a way better than, or much better than, average chance of you being a decent and honorable person. Unfortunately, the government doesn't see it that way, but I don't see the government as being honorable myself. Most of you don't either. So let's run a little test here. Well, in fact, just since we're here just for fun, go ahead and unload it. Now, some of you say, yeah, Johnny, well, what about the full house load? Well, you're going to get something closer to the 357 Magnum Performance, but here you're bumping 40, upper level 41 Magnum, you're bumping 44 Magnum Performance with the full house load. Let's see it in action. Yes, it has the full charge load, 1550 load in the full size gun. It's still running over 1450 out of the small gun. Let's watch it. Isn't that amazing? You notice the brass doesn't go very far. It doesn't go, in fact, the brass doesn't sling as far as it would out of the standard 45. And remember, yes, you can still shoot the 45 ACPs in our 460 Rowlands. You can't shoot a 460 and a 45. You can shoot the 45s in our 460s. Heck, you can even mix them in the same magazine. But very, very mild recoil. Also, let's shoot another. Isn't that amazing? Just had two in the magazine there. Isn't that amazing? Now realize that the magazines for the full-size guns also shoot, and this is a 45. Let's shoot a 45. Watch the muzzle jump on our little gun shooting the regular 45. It's like shooting a 22 Magnum. Isn't that something? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that something? So anyway, 45 ACP. So see, you've got the capability. It's just an amazing thing. Let's run a quick time test, comparing it, because this is really, we're talking in comparison to the small and yet powerful 357. Listen, those 40 calibers. And if that's all, if you got a 40 caliber and you like it, that's great. But you're gonna have to, you just don't have, you can't even approach the power level we got with our 460. Not the same thing. A lot of the little 40s, to me, kick worse than this gun does. If you got a little 9mm, one of the little guns, you can handle it. You can darn sure handle one of ours, especially with the defense load. Let's run that time test. Friends, we're going to load the magazine. Realize these little Kimbers come with a 7-round magazine. Let's put some of the defense load in. And honestly, if you're carrying a gun, if you're a police officer, let me recommend the defense load, because you're not going to have as much penetration. Certainly not over penetration. Is going to be as effective as any handheld firearm, any pistol can possibly be. Let's put about, well, let's see, let's put some of the, let's go ahead and fill the magazine here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you can get 7 of these in the magazine, and realize, of course, you don't have to carry small magazines. You can carry one of these full-size Wilson. This is my favorite, incidentally. The Wilson metal form is real good too. And there's some other good ones out there. You just have to try it in your gun. But heck, you've got 8 rounds here if you want it. 7 or 8 in the gun if you carry it cocked and locked. So versus 5 in the revolvers. Yes, I still like revolvers, but we just have a combination here that nobody's ever had. We've never had available to us. Okay, this gun's unloaded. All right, let's start with our 357 Magnum. We have our timer here from Competition Electronics, and I'll just put it on my pocket here. Okay, we'll turn it on, and we'll run 5 shots. I'll be in the ready position, and I will trigger 5 shots as fast as I can. Let's take a look at our group. You may see a little muzzle flash here out of 357. It's getting beautiful day today, warm. I tell you, summertime in Louisiana. Let's try it. Let's compare the little 357, and it is loaded with absolute maximum 125 grain jacketed hollow points, which if you had to defend yourself, that's what you want. You want the very best. Okay, let's do it. Time for 5 shots. Woo! Okay, 1.53 seconds for 5 shots. As you can see, the muzzle blast was working on our on our paper here. Let me tighten up our frame just a little. Yeah, definitely. And well, look, group's not bad. That includes my reaction time, 1.53 seconds. Let's write it down. Including, well, I think my my reaction time is going to be the same essentially for both guns, which would be let's see how long it was, about 32 hundredths of a second that time. Let's go ahead and load our little Kimber. Same drill, 5 shots. They said instead of having 470 or so foot-pounds of muzzle energy, 450, whatever it is for that velocity, we're looking at over 700 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, much heavier, much bigger bullet. The little Kimber, our defense load. Let's try that. Okay, and let's go ahead and unload it. I've got a couple left in it. How about 1.1 second? 4 over 4/10, and my reaction time was 3300. So it was actually 100 slower than with the revolver. It's just me this afternoon. I'm not terribly sharp this afternoon. But let's show you the group. We were 1.10. And I was running about 1/5 of a second or so between shots. Let's take a look at our group, or groups. Now here was the group shot with the little 357 right here, and 1.5 seconds, and that's as fast as I could go this afternoon. Of course, I'd letting the gun come back on target, shoot, but realized I had a lot of muzzle blast, quite a bit of recoil, 1.53 seconds, 32 hundredths for my first shot, and then the others certainly, well, I don't know, I raced it, but anyway, so here's my group. Now then, here's baby brother. Look how much smaller the group here. I got 3, 4 in one hole and 5 here. Now wait a minute, friends, in 1.10 seconds. We're shooting the gun about 5 shots, or between 5 and 6 shots a second is what you can do. And look how you can keep it on the target versus my much larger group here. Almost, well, between 4/10 and 1/2 second faster with much more power for the little Kimber. Now, hey, listen, I'm excited about this because, my goodness, one, you see, I see another avenue that we can sell guns and kits to help our project, to help our network along, to help our shooting show stay on the air. But you know what? If this was your concealed carry gun and you were being attacked, you had to defend your life. If you're a police officer and you had to confront a crackhead or someone who is crazed on drugs and alcohol or both, and you're having to defend your life, you know what? That's the most comfortable feeling you can have, is being on the rear end of one of these things, because you know it's going to do better. It's going to do a better job for you than anything that's ever been. Now that's the bottom line. It's going to allow you, the decent citizen or the decent police officer, to defend your life or your family's lives and well-being better than you have ever been able to do it with anything so small, easy to carry. Now that's what it's about, friends. I think offering the best defensive caliber and pistol that's ever been, I think that's an honorable thing. We're very proud to be able to do that here. And I tell you, it's so amazing that we've been able to get and of course I credit Jim Clark, my goodness, great engineer, great thinker, I credit him with working with me on this, being able to do it. Today, as we're speaking, at the moment, I don't even have the cost, but it's going to be less than on the full-size gun. The cost is going to be for the compact guns. Don't know yet about the officer's model Colt. Don't know about the Commander. Commander's probably going to be the same price because we have the same number of parts as the larger full-size model. But on the little compact Kimber, this is what a deal. What a deal. Now, friends, let me remind you that you can call us here at the show, 318-377-5189, and we can give you information. We'll have pricing on this. By the time you see this on the program, we should have our pricing down on the kits. And certainly we're in progress on the Commander and on the officer's model Colt. But let me tell you what, if you're tired of limited performance from your small gun, whatever it may be, 389 millimeter, 40 caliber, whatever else, and even limited performance from the 45 ACP, and you want or need, certainly, if you have a need for it, if you're going to carry a gun, if you're going to have to defend yourself, you need the very best you can deliver. We got it. Give us a call.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Now, friends, we've really had a great response to our dance video presentation. We appreciate these fine folks helping to support our project. And in a moment, let's hear from Sam Neill. I believe this tape here is on the waltz. Let's see what he has to say.
Welcome to Let's Dance School of Ballroom Dancing. This video we're going to teach you the waltz, and we got 12 steps for you to learn, and they are the basic box, 6-step underarm turn, star hesitation, quarter turn rotations, twinkles, aggressive box, triple twinkle, open triple twinkle, daisy chain, spirals, half turn rotations, and hesitations. The waltz is probably the most elegant of all the ballroom dances. You see it at all the festivals the world over. You see it in the musicals, movies. You see it at weddings, and you see it at any celebration the world over. You see the waltz. You know, and dancing is a unique thing that you can do because it allows a man and woman to do things together. A lot of men like to go hunting, a lot of men like to go fishing and like to play golf. And very few ladies like to do these things. But if you learn to dance, it's something that you can do together for the rest of your life. So learn to dance and have fun.
Now, friends, if you're tired of being a wallflower or whatever else you'd like to learn from these great videos, you can call TV Productions Incorporated, area 318-869-0439, or you can write to them, 106 East Kings Highway, Suite 216, Shreveport, Louisiana. The zip code is 71104, only $29.95. And please thank them for helping to support our project. And just for fun, since we're here, let's go back to about 1994 and take a look at how we did programs then.
Welcome to the Shootin' Show. Stand by for shots fired.
Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of the Shootin' Show, and welcome again to this week's program. We're so glad to have you with us. We have some features, I think, that will impress those new viewers to our program, and we certainly appreciate everyone new to shooting, new to our sport, new to the concept of being able to defend your own life. We welcome all of you, and certainly I think we're going to have some things that the enthusiasts among our audience are really going to enjoy also. So friends, let's open this week's program with our Mossberg Cruiser that we have fitted a chote folding stock to, and we're going to be taking a look at that in just a moment. But it really does add another concept to what we call our Brady Bill Special. So let's do that right now. Let's open another Shootin' Show. Well, that was pretty easy. Yeah, it's fun. Well, friends, in fact, it is a great day to be out shooting. It is such a pretty spring afternoon here in northwest Louisiana. We certainly wish all of you could be here with us today. And bear with us, we have a good bit of wind. It is windy, of course, this time of year. So please bear with us. We may have a little wind noise today. Well, you know, on our previous program last week, we had our Brady Bill Special here. Well, we want to thank the good people at Choate Machine and Tool in Bald Knob, Arkansas. They sent us a folding stock for our Brady Bill Special. And if you'll remember, we had the standard Mossberg Cruiser with this pistol grip on last week's program, and it makes a really nice package, certainly for our intended purpose. But this folding stock, well, you can still retain the short length, overall length of the shotgun, but with the push of a button here, you can and have your stock extended. It'll just fold out there. And this is really a quality made piece. I am so impressed with the Choate products. This is very, very functional. It took just a few minutes to install. The screw or bolt that goes in the back of the shotgun here that holds the pistol grip on, all you have to do is take that one out. The good folks at Choate have supplied another bolt. It goes right in, and then you have a very functional full-length shotgun. And the folding stock here has a recoil pad on it, and which is certainly needed for the heavier 12-gauge loads. So really you have the best of both situations. You have it short, of course, you just fold it back, push the button. It won't fold until that button is pushed. It unlatches itself there, and it even has sling swivels, so you can have a sling on your gun if you so desire. This is such a neat system, and we appreciate them so much. In fact, if you would like to have one of these folding stocks for your Mossberg 500 or your Remington 870, several other guns that they make these things for, well, you can buy it through us here at the program, the Bullet Express. We're going to add this to our product line. So they're not, shall we say, inexpensive, but they are worth what they cost. They're not, it's not a cheap unit by any stretch of the imagination. It is very nicely made, and I suspect would last certainly as long as the rest of the gun, if not longer. They're really, really that well made. Well, friends, what we're talking about today, this is an addendum to our Brady Bill Special. This, of course, is a 12-gauge shotgun, and a friend of mine loaned me, how about the same gun, essentially, but in 20-gauge. As we talked about on the previous program, dealing with our short shotguns.
And friends, we thought we might show you that just to remind us where we've come from and what we're about. Let's go to our support group, some folks that help us stay on the air. We have our good friend Dennis Crocker, a firearms trainer in South Carolina. Dennis is also now featuring a lineup of Kramer holsters. His number is area 864-587-8722. We have custom leatherwork and saddlery in Denham Springs, Louisiana. They do all kinds of leather work. Our good friends Dennis and Jeannie Ritchie, their number is area 225-667-9225. We have the folks out at Camouflage Technologies, and they paint gun stocks in all kinds of patterns. And it's professionally done. You ought to give them a call, area 909-674-6488. We have Flying Horse Galleries. They have great artwork on the internet there. Their address is www.flyinghorse.net. We have BC Armory, our friend Bruce Warren there in East Leroy, Michigan. He works on revolvers and semi-automatic pistols. His number is area 616-729-5508. And we have Cottrell Refrigeration, Heating, and Cooling there in Tuscumbia, Alabama. You can reach Wade at area 256-381-1887. Friends, we want to remind you that our radio program is on Sunday on the American Freedom Network. They can be heard on satellite, SpaceNet 4, Channel 19, 5.82 audio, and we're very hopeful about having our gospel program up and running again in the very near future. You know, we depend partially upon your donations to keep us on the air. So, friends, please help us if you can. We're so excited about our new package for our cartridge on the small guns. Please help us support or promote our 460 Rowland cartridge, and we look forward to seeing you on the